I have gotten multiple requests for a tutorial on these nails, so I finally sat down and made one for you guys. So you're going to start by building your nail however you prefer to do that. However, I will say that this look does require multiple layers, so you need to be careful that you don't start off too thick, or they're going to be thick by the time you're done. Once you get that base on there, we're going to use a matte top coat. I prefer the Function of Vex ceramic matte because the pigment powders seem to show up better on it than any other I've used. So if you're struggling with pigment powders, it could be what you're using under them. Make sure you cure that before moving on to the next step. And then I use the Vacation Nails pigment palette and just a regular eyeshadow palette, and you're going to take a brush or an eyeshadow applicator and apply the pigments to the nail. You can use whatever colors you want. I just went with greens and blues and a little bit of brown. I'm just playing around with it, smushing it around until it all blends, and I'm happy with it. I've also found that this brush here is a game changer when it comes to pigments. It's the angled pigment brush from Function of Vex. It's specifically designed for working with pigment powders on the nail. And then this next step coming up, it's important. You need to file the free edge after you get these pigments on here. Brush off any excess dust and then cap them with the next polish step. This is going to lock the pigment in so it doesn't chip later. After that, we're going to use a blooming gel, making sure to, like I said, cap the free edge, but don't cure this. You're going to go directly into using a black gel polish, one that's not too thick, and you're going to take a small dotting tool and put little black dots of various sizes all over the nail. You do have to work quickly here because it's going to start to bloom, and before you know it, the dots are going to be bigger than you want them. But once you're happy with them, then you're going to cure. After that, you're going to put a coat of milky white on top. It needs to be somewhat transparent. This is going to create some depth as we go into our second layer of dots. So again, don't cure this layer. Go directly into placing your dots, overlapping some of them over the old ones, letting them bloom out a little bit, and then cure. And that's pretty much it. After this, it's just top coat. The dots do create some bumpiness on the nail, so whenever I have nail art that does that, you'll see in a second how I like to put down a slip layer of my top coat, and then I'll float on a little bit more, kind of working it around. And then sometimes I'll even turn the client's hand upside down if I need to, until the surface is nice and smooth. And then cure, and you're done. So yeah, I don't think it's too complicated of a design. It's just a lot of layers. If you wanted to protect yourself from them becoming too bulky, you could always skip building your structure in the beginning and just encapsulate at the end with your builder gel instead of with the top coat, and you could build your structure in that step instead. But yeah, comment if you have any questions and follow my page if you want to see more.